And I don't even like all the string. Some of the boxes have a lot of string and glue in it, I was seeing. You've got to be careful handling it. And you don't want a dog or something to pick that up. Hi, it's Robbie from Southern California, and I'm sitting in my, well, one of my favorite gardens. They're almost all my favorite gardens. They all do different things. But this is my rainbow garden with all the different colored totes. These that you're looking at are all 18-gallon totes, though you can go bigger. They've got them in like 27 to 30-gallon totes and bigger. I don't go bigger really than 30, unless they got it really cheap at the thrift store. But let's walk over and see what happened to the cardboard garden. And let's see what I think about it, and let's see what you think about it, because we each have our own opinions. So the boxes are going. There they are, little by little. I want you to see this. This is the reason I didn't like boxes in the beginning. It is full. They ran off right now, or there might still be some black widows, brown widows. It leaves, because this was turned over, it actually leaves too many places for things to be living in, things that I may not want. Because even if I took off the edges, see how they separate? Boxes are in layers. So it was loaded with roly-polies, earwigs, all that ends up in there. Now, if they've got enough matter to eat and break down, it won't matter for your plants. If they don't, that's when they can start causing problems by eating your plants. So even though it didn't, it didn't do as good as I, personally preferred totes, the point is I still have all this extra soil now that I can now remove, put in the totes, and line totes up. It's just too many issues happen, and it just, see how dry it is? It never broke down completely, and I don't even like all the string. Some of the boxes, you don't know, have a lot of string and glue in it, I was seeing. You've got to be careful handling it. Maybe it was these, and these have a lot of string and fiber. The fiber is nylon, it's not breaking down, so that's ending up there, and you don't want a dog or something to pick that up if they found it and get it in their mouth. Keep that in mind, because it can get blocked in their intestines. So there was a lot of string and different things I didn't care for. Would I do it again? Probably, just being aware of all that. I still have this here I'm going to leave right now, but I will be moving some of those plants out. So that's kind of an update on what's going on here. Cardboard boxes in this one section are going. I should be able to get maybe 6 totes in here. They can stay there permanently, like these that have been there a couple years, like my chair garden that's been there a couple years. They last longer, they contain and hold the water in there, the nutrients for the plants. And you can control gophers. You can control tree roots if you've got a lot of tree roots like I've got. And you have, well, just in general, you have more control. And by using totes, I always talk about this, by using totes, you can plant 1 tote at a time. So if you're using an 18-gallon tote, you can plant your individual gardens. You don't have to rush out, fill up a great big raised bed that you can get for about $150 and then plant the whole thing up. You would have to plant, or at least get soil in the whole thing. You don't have to plant the whole thing up. You would have to fill it with soil. If you didn't have enough soil and you had to buy some bagged soil, it could cost a lot of money. So let's say you're buying soil. If you would have to put 2 or 3 bags in there, you're going to spend $100 on soil on a great big raised bed when maybe you're not quite ready for it. Plus, I like the idea of the plants having their own container, because celery, for instance, has such a massive root system that they end up choking all your other plants out. So this way, by growing in a tote, you've got individual plants growing on their own, no competition except for what you put in there, the few good plants. Got 3 watermelon plants in one tote. I've got 2 and 3 squash, zucchinis growing in one tote. You can set them up so there's no real competition. You have a great big 6-foot raised bed and you're putting everything in there. They're all fighting for the same nutrients. Just a thought. Was this good? It was fun, but this I'm now going to try to find the place for it, and I don't like the way the dye is breaking down on some of that. I'm not saying it's bad. The plants aren't going to really bring a lot of that up, but it's, I don't know. There's just, to me, there's better and easier ways. And as we say, it's called Robbie and Gary Gardening Easy. Well, I want to do it easy and better. So with that, have a wonderful day. And let's come back later and see what I do here. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. So a quick ending note on this. As I was saying, the totes can go for years. And if you've got plants that can last for a couple years, they'll go for a couple years. All of these have been going for a while and they're still going strong. Where the cardboard box garden only really had a life of 4 to 6 months. After that, it was pretty much fizzled out. It would be good for a very short growth type of plant, but you know what? I want to have something that's going to last a little bit longer. So what I've decided for now is I'm going to end up probably putting these 6 totes in here instead of the 5 or 6 boxes I had. These totes, once I set up the holes and everything, I can start slowly filling them, and I can do one at a time. If this was one raised bed, I would have to get a lot of soil in there because the whole thing would have to be set up. Even if I'm not growing in it, it would still have to be completely set up. Now I can pace myself. I can do one tote at a time. And then I can plant what I want. I could hurry up real fast and get them all done and get squash in there. Or I could take my time and maybe do collard and kale or tomatoes or peppers. I actually might move some of those that are left in the cardboard box into the totes. So you have to grow in whatever way works for you. If you've got a really short season, well then it might work perfect for you. And then you have created your own soil from the bottom of the boxes as they break down. But for us here in an area where we can go a little longer and our growing season can go for almost a good 9 months for a lot of different plants, well, then the plants are gonna outgrow their cardboard box, and instead of getting more production, like I'm still getting tons of zucchini and squash and walking onions and tomatoes and everything out of here, well, for this one, the cardboard boxes, they've pretty much fizzled out and they don't hold enough water for our area and we're in a drought. So it's kind of like a good learning experience. Would I do it again? Maybe for fun, but I'm gonna have to tell you that the totes are my pride and joy. And I love how I can pace myself. And I like the way they look. And they're cheap too. They're what? Normally, everyday price is about $7. They used to be $5. They went up to $7. Go to the thrift store. Check them out there. You can find them a lot of times. There's no lids for $2. If you go into a store and they're selling totes and they don't have the lids, ask them. I've heard that they've reduced them half price. And check online because periodically they have certain colors that they blow out online, especially Walmart, for just a few bucks because they don't want them anymore. So with that, I think I've given you some information. Hopefully you can take something from it. And well, I'm going back to work because I have 6 more containers to set up in my garden. Have a wonderful day again, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye.